Right. So we will record the things whatever we studied in the previous class. So we started communication systems. So tell me, what is communication? What is communication?
Process of transmitting the information.
From
one place to another.
Right. So it is a process
One
of
place.
transmitting the information from one place to another place is called what communication. Right. This is called communication. Right. So if you want to communicate any information from one place to another place, so we need three things. So there is nothing. The essential elements of a communication system are three. So what are those, Nana? One is the transmitter. Second one is the medium. Third one is the receiver.
Medium or channel and receiver.
Receiver, right? So if you want to communicate any information, so we need these three things: transmitter, receiver, and medium through which the information is propagating. So I already given the definition of transmitter. What is transmitter?
The device
which transfers the information is called transmitter.
Right. So the device, by using the device, we are transferring the information. That is called a transmitter. Okay, now it's a device which is used to transfer the information. That is the transmitter. Next, receiver means the device which receives the information. That is the receiver. And the medium or channel means the path through which the information is transmitting. From which path the information is transmitting. Okay, now. So for this, we need different types of mediums. Okay, now we will use air medium, and we will use optical fibers. I'm getting disturbance. Please mute yourself. Please mute yourself. Okay. So we have different types of medium to transfer the information. Okay, now optical fibers and we can directly send the through air. We can send the information in form of electromagnetic waves. Okay. Next, types of communication systems. Okay. So types of communication. So actually we have two types of communications. Two types of communication systems. One is a point-to-point communication, and second one is one on a broadcast mode. Okay, point-to-point and broadcast mode. So in point-to-point communication, what is point-to-point communication system? So the communication system in which there is only one transmitter and only one receiver. Okay, now there is only one transmitter and only one receiver is called a point-to-point communication. Amma Divya, I'm getting disturbance, resound from your side. Please be mute yourself. Whenever I'm asking the question, at the time, please unmute and give a response, and immediately you should be in mute. Everyone, please follow this my instruction. Right. We have two types of communication system. One is point-to-point communication, and second one is broadcast mode communication system. Right. What is point-to-point means? In the communication system in which there is only one transmitter and only one receiver. So such type of communication is called point-to-point communication. For example, the telephonic conversation. In telephonic conversation, the transmitter there is only one transmitter, only one receiver. Okay, now. So next one is broadcast mode. In broadcast mode, what happens in this type of communication system? There is only one single transmitter. For single transmitter, we are having one multiple receivers. We are having multiple receivers. Okay, now for single transmitter, if there is a possible of multiple receivers, such type of communication is called broadcast mode. You know, the television and radio communication comes under one broadcast mode. In TV and radio communication, there is only one transmitter. There is only one source, but so we can receive the information. The multiple users can receive the same information. Okay. Is it fine?
Yes, sir, fine.
Right. So all these things we discussed in the previous class. Next, so the basic definitions that you have to understand. First is information. Okay. So tell me what is information? The information. What is information is nothing but the message to be conveyed.
The message to be conveyed.
Message to be conveyed. Whatever the message you are going to send to the receiver. Okay, na? The message you are going to send the receiver is called the information. The information, it may be a symbol, or it may be a code, or it may be a group of words. Okay, that is the information. Next to communication channel. What is
It
communication
is the
channel?
physical medium. It is the physical medium through which the signal
propagate between the transmitter
And receiver. See, here
receiver.
we have the source, and here we have the receiver. In between, if you want to send information, we need a medium. We need a medium, the physical medium. The medium may be the air medium, or we can use optical fibers. Optical fibers. So these are called what, communication channel. Communication channel, the physical medium through which the signals propagate between the transmitted and receiver. Transmitted and receiver. Understood? That is called communication channel. All right. Next one is what, a transducer. Next one is what, transducer. So, here what happens? Here what happens? We cannot send signals directly into the space. For example, if you want to send the signals to very large distances, so what happens? We are going to convert that signals into what, electrical pulses. Okay, Nana? So that we want to change, we want to convert one form of energy into another form of energy. So this can be done by a device called transducer. Device is called what, Nana? Transducer. What is transducer will do, Nana? It is a device that changes, that converts one form of energy into another form of energy. Okay, na? The device which converts one form of energy into another form of energy is called transducer. Okay, na? Right? Next example, that is a microphone. The microphone which converts sound signals into what, Nana? Electrical signals. Sound signals into what? Electrical signals. Is it fine? Is it okay, Nana?
Yes, sir.
Okay, sir.
Right. Next to the message signal. What is a message signal, Nana? The information which is in electrical form.
The information which is in the electrical form, sir.
Right. The information which is in electrical form is called signal. Actually, what is information? Information is nothing but the message to be conveyed. Whatever the message you are going to convey, that is called what, information. So here, by using some devices, that is called transducer, we are converting the message information into what, message signal. Okay, na? Information into what? Message signal.
Information which is in the electrical form.
Message signal. Okay. So the information, for example, the speech. Okay, na? So here we are converting into what, message signal which is in what, electrical signal. Electrical signal. Okay. The speech is nothing but the sound signal. Santana? Sound. The sound is converted into what, an electrical form. Okay. That is called the message signal that we can't understand. Okay. The sound, the speech only we can understand, we can feel. Okay, no. Right? So here the transducer which converts the sound signals into what, an electrical signal. Sound signals into electrical signals. Understood? Okay.
Yes, sir.
Next one is noise. What is noise? Sometimes we are getting some disturbance while speaking. Okay, now whenever we are doing some conversation in a telephone, what happens? Sometimes we won't listen the correct words. Okay, now some disturbance will be happen, right? So that is called the noise. That is called noise. So sometimes we listen some undesired signals. Undesired signals we are listening in telephonic conversation. Such signals are called one noise. Understood? That is called noise.
Yes.
Right? So what is noise? The noise refers to undesired signal. The noise refers to what? Undesired signal which disturb the transmission. Which disturb the transmission and processing of the signals. Okay, that is called noise. Is it fine?
Yes.
Right.
Fine, sir.
Next one is attenuation. Next one is what? Attenuation. What happens whenever we are sending the signals into the space? What happens in medium? Into the medium, what happens in medium? Some particles will be there. Due to the collision between the particles, the strength of the signal will be decreases. The strength of signal will be decreases. So that refers to what? Attenuation. That refers to what? Attenuation. What is attenuation? The loss of the strength of the signal. The loss of the strength of the signal is called what? Attenuation during the propagation in the medium. Whenever the signal is propagating into the medium, what happens? Its strength will be decreases. That is called what? Attenuation due to collision of the atoms. Okay. Okay, Nana. Next one, amplification. Right?
Yes, sir.
So whenever the strength of the signal is decreasing, what happens? Finally, we cannot hear that signal. Okay, now if you want to hear the clear signal, what happens? We need to increase the strength of the signal. We need to increase the strength of the signal. That process is called amplification. That process is called what? Amplification. Understood? The process of increasing the strength of the signal. The process of increasing the strength of the signal is called amplification. Amplification. And the device which is used to increase the strength of the signal is called amplifier. Okay, now that is called what? Amplifier. Understood?
Amplifier.
Yes,
Yes, sir.
Right. This is called amplification and amplifier. Next, range. What is range? So, it is the largest distance. The largest distance between
largest distance between the source and the destination.
source and destination. Source and destination. It is the largest distance between the source and destination. How much distance is there between the transmitter and the receiver is called what? Range. Okay, now we are going to derive an expression for the range between the transmitter and the receiver. Okay, very, very important relation we are going to derive in this class. Okay. Next one is what? These terms are very, very modulation, demodulation, bandwidth. These terms are very, very important. Okay. Right. So how to increase the strength of the signal? That is the question. Okay, now. So here we are doing amplification, right? What is amplification? Amplification is the process of increasing the strength of the signal. Now one question arises. How to increase the strength of the signal? That is the main thing. That is the main thing. Now we can increase the strength of the signal by doing modulation. By doing modulation. Understood?
Yes, sir.
Right. Now, what is modulation,
Yes,
sir? What I gave yesterday given one example, right? Do you remember? Example. For example, now you are here. Your destination is go to Hyderabad. So what happens, Nana? You can go to a bus, right? By bus, what happens, Nana? You can reach the Hyderabad quickly, right? In this case, you don't lose any energy. Why? Because you're going and simply sitting in the bus, and the bus is going on. Finally, the bus reaches to Hyderabad. Whenever the bus reaches to Hyderabad, what happens? You left with that bus and you go to your destination. In this case, the bus is called what? A carrier. And then the bus is called what? A carrier.
Carriers.
Here yourself, you are the message. Yourself,
Carrier.
you are the message. Okay, now this is the message signal. Actually, what is our aim? Our aim is to send the message signal from one place to another place. One place to
Message
another
to
place.
another.
Okay, we need to convey the message from one place to another place. Here, what happens, Anna? By using a carrier, we are sending the signal. By using a carrier, we are sending the message signal, right? So means here, what we are doing? We are superimposing the message signal over a carrier wave. This carrier wave is having what, Anna? High frequency wave. This carrier wave is a high frequency wave. High frequency wave. High frequency means what, Anna? High energetic wave. Antena? Okay, Nana? High frequency means high energetic. Are you there?
Yes, sir.
E equals to H nu. Frequency is more means what, Anna? High energy. High energy means what, Anna? High power will be there. Understood? So by superimposing the message signal over a carrier wave, this is called what, Anna? Modulation. The mixing of the message signal over the carrier. Right, that is modulation. Understood? What is modulation?
The process of superimposing the message signal over a carrier.
Right. So here we are superimposing message signal over what? Carrier wave. This is called what, Anna? Modulation. This is called modulation. Whenever we are superimposing the message signal over a carrier wave, the strength of signal will be increases. The strength of signal will be increases so that it can travel much distance. It can travel a larger distance. Understood? Okay, Nana?
Yes, sir.
Right. So it reaches the destination. So after reaching the destination, what happens, Nana? At receiver, this is the transmitted and this is the receiver. At receiver, we cannot understand that mixing of signals, right? So we cannot understand the mixing of signals. So here what happens? We need to separate the signal. We need to separate the signal, that is message signal from the carrier signal. Okay, Nana? Message signal from the carrier signal. That is called what, Nana? Demodulation. That is called demodulation. The process of separating the message signal from the carrier wave, is called demodulation. Okay.
Okay, sir.
Right, that is called demodulation. Now listen one more term. I'm going to introduce you. That is repeated. That is repeated. In between a transmitter, and a receiver. So here we place in between. We will place some devices. These devices increases the range of the communication system. These devices increases for range of the communication systems. Such devices are called what, repeated. Such devices are called what, repeated. They will amplify the signals. Understood? These are the devices used to increase the range of the communication system. Understood? Okay. Next to bandwidth, the final definition. What is bandwidth means, Vanana? So here the higher frequency minus lower frequency. Higher frequency minus lower frequency is called what, Nana? Bandwidth. Okay, na? The difference in the higher frequency minus lower frequency is called bandwidth, or we can say the range of frequencies. The range of frequencies over which the communication system works. If you see in television, so Ma TV will having some broadband frequency, ETV will having some broadband frequency, Gemini TV, then each television, each will having what some constant frequency range. Each will having some constant frequency range. Okay, na? So that frequency range is called what, bandwidth. That frequency range is called what, Nana? Bandwidth.
Bandwidth.
Okay, now the range of frequencies over which the communication system works. At what frequency range the communication system works is called what, Nana? Bandwidth. That is nothing but is the difference of higher frequency minus a lower frequency. Okay. Is it fine?
Yes, sir. Fine.
Yes, sir.
Right. Next one is what, Nana? Antenna. Next concept is what? Antenna. You already seen this. See this diagram. See this diagram.
Antenna.
These are antenna. These are what, Nana? Antenna. What is antenna? Antenna is a device which transmits or receives the signal. Antenna is a device. Antenna is a device which transmits. It acts as a transmitter as well as a receiver, as well as what, Nana? Receiver, transmitter. Okay, now a device which is capable of transmitting and receiving the information or signal is called what, Nana? Antenna. It's called what? Antenna. It is used to both the transmission and reception uses. What is the first one, Nana? It is used to both the transmission and reception of radio signals, right? So this is the thing. So by using this antenna can be used to both the transmitting and reception of information. Okay. So it is generally made up of wire or collection of wires. It is generally made up of what, Nana? It is made up of a wire or collection of wires. It is made up of wire or collection of wires. Understood? This is what you already seen these type of transmitters, right? In your home, you see this. See in your some cars will having this type of transmitter, right? In car backside. Okay, this you can see at your home. Okay, and this you can at home, right? This you can see your at home. This is it. Radio and TV, old radios. This type of transmitters we have. Okay, and right. So this is what antenna. The device which is used to transmit and receive the signal is called antenna. So it is used to both the transmission and the reception of signals, right? So it is made up of a wire or a collection of wires. Okay, Anna? Is it fine?
Yes, sir.
Right. So next we have two types of antenna. One is dipole antenna. Second one is what, Anna? This type of antenna. Dipole antenna and this type antenna. Okay. So what is dipole antenna means? So this one more name for dipole antenna, that is omnidirectional antenna. Omnidirectional antenna. Omnidirectional antenna means only in single direction.